Hi, welcome to this OpenAI Jukebox tutorial. My name is Johannes Music and I'll go over how I use Jukebox to make music with it. If you are totally new to Jukebox, I recommend that you go and visit the site, which you can see in the picture, and it is in the link list below this video. I think it will be the second one there. Now basically Jukebox is a neural network based system that can generate new music based on the various settings that you provide. And the music in every single video here on my YouTube channel has been made with Jukebox. To get started, you will need three things. First of all, you need a Google account because you are going to use Google Drive for your file system whenever you operate Jukebox. So if you don't have a Google account or have never used Google Drive, please go ahead and sign up with Google, and once that you have your Google Drive, you can come back and watch the rest of this video. Also, you need about 10 seconds of music in the form of a WAV file. We call that a primer WAV or sometimes prompt, and it is used as a starting point for the Jukebox to start generating more music by extending that primer WAV. And third, you will need a Google Colab notebook, and that's taken care of because you will find that the first link below this video links to the notebook that we will go through in this video in great detail. That notebook is your user interface to Jukebox, and you run it in the browser like any web page. Okay, let's have an overview of the whole process of making music with Jukebox using the notebook. Okay, so here is a little overview of the entire process of making music with OpenAI Jukebox. And it all begins with the sound file that we call the priming WAV. It's a short clip of music, typically about 10 to 12 seconds long, that we feed into the Jukebox. And it will start continuing making music based on that priming clip. And here is my priming clip called AI. It's a kind of a drum loop with some weird sounding singing on the top of it. And I have mixed it down to mono. You can use different kind of sound file, but the best result comes from mono 16-bit 4400 Hz file. And what we do with that file is to upload it to Google Cloud, to Google Drive. And here are all the folders that I presently have, and for this project I'm going to create a new one, new folder, and I'm going to call it xperf4, create, and now I'm going to enter the folder. And I'm going to upload my priming WAV here, upload files. This comes either by right clicking or clicking the new. Starting upload. And now I have my priming WAV uploaded. Okay, then when I have my WAV uploaded to the drive, I'm going to set up my project. I am going to enter the settings or project options then install Jukebox, then download model and do some bookkeeping stuff. And when the setup is ready, then I'm going to start generating the actual sound, the actual music. It works like this. When I start my initial generation, it will make 3 clips. Let's say they are 10 seconds long each. Clip 0, clip 1 and clip 2. And when I got those initial clips, I'm going to add some more length to the composition. But before that, I will pick one of these clips and decide which one of them I'm going to extend, because they will be slightly different. So let's say I like number 1. So I will take that, and it will then add to them, let's say, 10 seconds more. I will have 3 new versions that I will have 3 versions of the clip 1. Each will have 10 seconds of new material, and they will all be slightly different from each other when it comes to that new material. Then I can go back. I can select one of these. Let's say I like number 2. So I like number 2, and I'm going to put 10 more seconds to that too. So I landed that, and once again I have 3 new clips. And then let's say okay, now I have enough. I'm happy with these 3 clips that are now 40 seconds long. I will go to the final stage, which is upsampling it. These clips are kind of draft versions of the song. They will sound very, very bad. They will have lots of artifacts. They will have hisses and crackling and stuff like that. So upsampling means making them sound better. And given enough time, you will end up with the final product, which is 3 clips that sound decent. So that's the theory. Let's now see it in practice. Okay, so here we see my Google Drive and my project folder expr4, and here is the priming wall. And now let's switch over to the co-compose with Jukebox. And first of all, let's connect to the Google Cloud, or to the Google Collaboratory. And now we have connected, we have access to various resources. Let's see what kind of GPU they gave us. Okay, we have V100. That's good enough. Now let's connect to Google Drive. It will now give this link. Let's click on it. And here we can choose an account that we want to use. The Google Drive of the account we want to use. It asks for a permission. Let's allow it. Let's copy this authorization code, and back here in the co-compose, let's just paste it into the box, and while still in the box, press enter. And now it has mounted it on the file system, which means that if I now click on this folder icon on the left, I should be seeing my Google Drive under this directory. Let's expand it. Okay, here's my drive, and under my drive I have all my drive folders, including our project folder exp4, and there's our priming wall. Okay, everything looking good. Let's move on to the project options or the settings. I need to give the name of the directory here, and I need to do this every single time when I run Jukebox. As long as I'm working with this project, it will be always the same folder, exp4. Okay, so now that we have defined our project directory, there are some other pieces of information Jukebox needs, and we need to input here the rest of the options whenever we start a new project, like we are doing now. First of all, the sampling WAV, the name was AI, and just the name. Then artist, and then genre. These help Jukebox to decide what kind of song to make. Let's scroll a little bit upwards. There's an artist list. I'm going to click it, and here are a list of all the artists that Jukebox knows about, together with some labels that are taken from Spotify, which help to decide what artist we would like to use here. Now my priming WAV is kind of electronic sounding clip, so I'm thinking of, how about this BOA, which is Electronica Intelligent Dance Music Micro House Trip Hop Ambient. I'm going to input that. I'm going to input that on the artist field, and Jukebox always expects one artist at a time, but it can accept multiple genre labels, and we have a list of them too. Here, these are the genre labels. I'm thinking of taking just pop to play it safe. I'll say the genre is pop, and also jazz to get some interesting harmonies, hopefully. Okay, so that's the artist and the genre. Next, some numbers. The priming WAV that we have is about 10 seconds long, but 9 seconds is enough. Those first 9 seconds will start off the song, and then Jukebox will kind of improvise after that. To initial song length, when we start generating music, we are going to generate first of all 20 seconds. The total song length that we are trying to make, I nearly always put 45 seconds, because that's a good number. It won't take too much time to render it to completion, as we will see. And there is some kind of upper limit for this song length. It could be minute, it could be minute and a half, I don't know. So far I always put 45 or even less. Lyrics, these are optional. Meta, no. Let's leave them off. Let's leave them blank. Okay, so now that we have defined our settings or project options, we need to input them by pressing this button. Now Jukebox knows our settings, and if we now expand the Google Drive again and look at our project folder, we will see that there is a new file called info text. I'll double click and it will open in this window on the right hand, and here are all our settings, and we don't need to enter them again. When we return working on this project, Jukebox will know about our settings and it will keep on updating these as we go along. Alright, next let's install Jukebox. It will fetch the sources and build it, and it will take a few seconds. And it has now finished. Let's go to the next part, which is run this cell, which will fetch the models that Jukebox needs to make music. And these models come from OpenAI and are rather large files, so this will take even longer. We'll just wait patiently. Okay, it has now completed the setup, so we can go to the next stage, number 2, initial generation. And here we generate the beginning of the song, which was 20 seconds. And it is now making music, it is generating the song. These numbers are iterations that it goes through while adding to the song. And let's wait it for finish, and then we'll come back. Okay, it's just about ready. Okay, it finished, and we can see that we now have the first part of our song that is 20 seconds, and out of the 45 seconds that is the total song length, we still have 25 remaining. And now if we look at the project directory here in the left side window and refresh, we can see that we have some new files. Actually, let's go over to the browser window, and here we see that we have 3 clips that have been generated by Jukebox. These are so-called level 2 clips, meaning that they sound pretty terrible and hissy because it's a draft version of the rendering. It simply has the song structure and how it goes, but lots of the detail of the music is not sounding too good now, but we will fix it later. And then we'll have the checkpoint that has all the information Jukebox needs to go on continuing this song. And let's hear what we got. I'll click all of these, and it will open them in the notebook. Okay, this is the first one. The first 9 seconds come directly from the primary wall, and now it is improvising. Now, that was rather interesting. What about this one? So, I liked all of these, and it's pretty hard to decide what of this I'm going to continue, but I'm going to continue clip 0, but maybe I'll come back later and continue clip 1 or 2. Because of that, I'm going to make a branch of this project, and I'll make a note like all are pretty good, and I run this, and now if I refresh the project folder, I see that I have a backup folder with the note in the name, all are pretty good. It has just the copies of everything that I've done so far, so I can come back to work with them later. Only the info is different because it has the project directory, which is now my backup folder. Right. But now I'm going to continue with my clip 0. So I let this choice to be 0, and I want to add 10 seconds to what we already have. And since I've already heard the beginning, I don't want to hear it again for so long. I'll put let's say 15 seconds, so it will start to play from that point on once when it's ready. Okay, now it knows about my choice. Now let's run the cell to continue generating, and once again it starts to generate the additional seconds to the song. Let's just wait for it to finish. Okay, it's about to finish. It's finished. We have now 30 seconds, 15 remaining. Again, let's click on these to load the clips in the notebook. And this time it will start playing from 15 seconds. Okay, clip 1 is my choice, so I go back to this choice cell and input 1, and I want to add another 10 seconds, and I want to start from 25 seconds. I run the cell and run the other cell to continue generating the song. Okay, so it has now finished. We have now in total 40 seconds, and we could have 5 more if we wanted to. And I already listened to these clips and they are pretty good now, so I don't think I'm going to bother adding any more to them. Instead, I go to the final stage, which is to upsample. The upsample step, the final step, is the one that makes the songs sound better. The level 2 clips that we have now, that we have heard, that have terrible quality, kind of draft level samples, and when we push this button, run this cell to make your clips better sounding, it will start to download stuff first of all, and when it has downloaded it, it is going to start working on the clips. And first of all, it will take the clips to the level 1, and level 1 is kind of intermediate level of sound. It sounds a lot better than level 2, and in fact it's good enough to share. I have some videos that are sampled up to level 1 only, but if you like, you could polish it further by bringing it all the way to level 0, which is the best quality. But that will take time. The level 1 will take about 2 hours, maybe, depending on the length of your clip. And level 0 will take 3 times as much. But if you want to take it to level 0, it could happen that your connection breaks or Google terminates your session, especially if you are using the free version of Google Collaboratory. If that happens, well, you can just come back, open this notebook, and you then connect to your Google Drive, fill in your project directory. You won't need to put anything else there. Run this cell to install Jukebox, then you run this cell to complete the setup, and when that's done, you just come back where you were and click here, and it will continue upsampling. Okay, now that we have upsampled a little bit further, we start to see time estimates. So we see that it has about 80 minutes to go, and then it will be in level 1. If we take a look at our Google Drive, it has now made a new folder called level 1. And already there are some sound files in them, and these are very short because it has only it had the priming wall and about maybe 3 seconds of the actual song. But as it goes along, it from time to time it extends these WAV files in your directory, so you can listen to them and track your progress. And this file over here is again a checkpoint file. It contains all the data and information to resume making the music if you for some reason have to interrupt it and come back to it again. Okay, it has gone on to the step 4 now, and it still has 53 minutes to go. And once when it has rendered to level 1 here, sampling level 1, it will start sampling level 0, which will take a lot of time. So you can decide whether you want to go as far as level 1, as far as level 0, or if you are satisfied with what you get from level 1. In any case, this is about all I have to say about it. I believe this is enough for you to get started with it. This is the first time I've ever done this kind of video, so I'm sorry if it comes out a little garbled and strange, but I hope you understood the most of it. I hope you will have a lot of fun with this, and you will make a great music with Jukebox. And if there's something that is still unclear, or you want to know about it, you can write a message beneath this video, and I will check from time to time and try to answer it. Okay, Thanks for watching.